Hello, welcome back. Today I'm picking up, I actually drove an hour each way. I'll drive an hour each way. I'm picking up some ink I purchased off of Facebook Marketplace, just checking, make sure that wasn't the person coming. They haven't messaged me back yet. They messaged me a couple times, but they've not messaged me back, since I sent them a message that I'm here. So, anyway, today's video I'm going to talk about getting older and what should we do and what this started from. There was a lady I read an article recently on. She's 53 years old. She's been in mid-management the last 20 years or so. She got recently laid off. What's she going to do? And I kind of thought about what would we do as resellers as we get older. Does that make us better resellers? Does it make us worse resellers? Are there going to be people getting into reselling? There's a lot to ask yourself. There's a lot to unpack. So I'm going to go through that in this video. I'm going to come back to you and talk about it, but that's kind of the intro. I'm waiting on my guy. I'm going to show you what I buy, and then we'll get into the video, okay? All right, so we went in and picked up the ink here. Mainly what we picked up, the better stuff, is the 950, 951 HP ink. This is the whole tri-box. This is a box of three. It's the three colors, but that's got the black too. Then you got your separate colors that you can make a lot out of. One box is open, broke open, but it's still the ink's in it new, so we'll just sell it as an open box. And then we got, that was $25, and then this lot was $10. Total lot for about $35. You're looking at this box alone here, I think it's about $50 itself. So that pays for everything, and then all the rest is profit. The 950, 951 has a really good sell-through rate. So I just want to go ahead and show you this buy, and then we'll continue on with the video. All right. Let's go over some things that have sold. Sold these Eco dress shoes here. Picked them up at a yard sale for $3 at $27 plus shipping. To me, they look practically brand new. Look at the soles. Look at them, and I mean, for $3, I just couldn't leave that nice pair of shoes. Sold a boombox. I gotta get back here and get a little bit. Picked this up at a yard sale for $2. Sold this for $35 plus shipping on the boombox. These you may think are hard to ship, but they're not. It's actually easier than like a VCR or whatever to ship. You detach the speakers, you put them behind, you shrink wrap, and you're only shipping like a square. So it's not that hard to ship. I actually don't mind shipping boom boxes at all. All right, sold some clothes here. Sold Penn State, Nike Golf, Polo. Paid 50 cents for this at a yard sale. $11 plus shipping. Sold a pair of Brooks Brothers pants. They're $34.30. Chino. I don't know if you can see Brooks Brothers or not. But anyway, $15 plus shipping on the flat front. Chino, Brooks Brothers. I sold a Masters. If you've seen, I think you hit a video that I sold a Masters Polo. Well, this is a Masters quarter zip. Paid $1 for this at a yard sale, the same yard sale I got the other Masters. $23 plus shipping on $1, which is great. Picked up like 5 pieces of clothes at that yard sale. They're all gone, and all of them made really good profit. Sold Favant floral shirt here. This was a $1 day pickup at the Goodwill. $9 plus shipping on the floral shirt. That's not a big fame name or anything. It's just probably the print that really helped sell it. This was also a dollar shirt at a yard sale. Eli Cattleman Big Man shirt. Pearl Snap 2XLT, I think, or 2XL Big, excuse me. $12 plus shipping. On that, it's short sleeve too, so it was perfect. I mean, and I ain't had it in the store for very long at all. Also, $1 pickup at a yard sale, a Nautica, new with tags. $18 plus shipping on the Nautica zip. And finally, a Van Heusen in here. It's a 17.5, 3738. It's extremely tall. This was a $1 pickup, $10 plus shipping on the Van Heusen. You can even sell Van Heusen. You can sell chaps. Just make sure they're tall, good sizes, and they'll sell. So getting older definitely stinks. And I wanted to kind of go into the article I read a little bit more. Like I said, there was a lady that was 53 years old. She'd recently gotten laid off from her job. Now, she's been job hunting, and nobody really is getting back to her. And honestly, if you think about it for a couple minutes, it kind of makes sense. The people that are looking for her type of work, it was like a mid-management type of job. They're looking for a few things. And then let's just be honest here, as we always are. They're looking for someone younger. They're looking for someone prettier. And they're looking for someone cheaper. Okay? She probably wrote down on her last job that she made $70,000. She'd been at that work 20 years, earned some raises, stuff like that. Place automatically when they're pulling things, if they even pull them. A lot of times this stuff is going through AI now to hire. So you're like, why would I not get hired? Well, some of the things that a company puts in is, we don't want someone that's a certain age. We don't want somebody that's a certain criminal background. We don't want this. We don't want that. So the AI just goes ahead and kicks them out. Now, Chris, you might say that's kind of discrimination, but I'm hearing more stories of people, older people, having a hard time and, getting aged out of stuff. And but what does that mean as far as reselling is concerned, Chris? You're just rambling on talking about jobs, and this is not that type of job. You can be any age and do reselling, and yes, you can, but no matter what, if there's a geared up 30-year-old guy going at it, he can get to more yard sales than I can. He can get to more estate sales than I can. He can do more. But now, also, he may have obligations and stuff. He may have a family. He may have kids. He may have a wife. I don't have those type things. So you have to kind of weigh stuff out to see which is better, Also, I find with age, sometimes I'm a lot smarter in some of the decisions I make, some of the things I do. Not everything's perfect. I still make mistakes. I still, if a problem comes up, man, I just want it solved. And sometimes by wanting a problem instantly solved, you end up wasting a lot more money than you would have had you thought it out. Maybe I should have bought that, because it's weird sometimes you'll buy something because something goes on, and you're like, 2 weeks later, something else comes up, and you're like, man, that was a whole lot cheaper. I wish I could have just waited that much longer, and I would have done it, that can always happen, but also, like I say, with your age, like now when it comes to wanting stuff for myself, I rarely buy stuff for myself. Rarely do I buy anything for myself. And if I do, a lot of times it's at a thrift store that's cheap, and like I've told y'all before in other videos, later on, I sell something out of my closet to kind of balance it all off. It is convenient as a bigger person. My clothes tend to sell a whole lot better than your normal, medium, large, maybe extra large type person. Those market, it's bad enough at 3 and 4X, type sizes to sell stuff, let alone an extra large size. But like I said, back to a guy with more energy and more go and more stuff like that, that's definitely a disadvantage. But then there's also, like I say, the knowledge stuff. I've talked about knowledge. The older people have a knowledge, I don't know where exactly I put myself in a classification of age, but as you get older, your knowledge of stuff, you've seen more stuff, you've been around more stuff. As you get more years of reselling, I see more stuff now than I ever have. And then as I've been through years of reselling, it's amazing. I'll see something, I'm like, man, I've never seen that. And after 8 years of this, and all the thrift stores and all the yard sales and all the estate sales and etc., if I'm finding something for the first time. Maybe I should go ahead and buy it. We'll take and show you some sold items, and then we're going to come back and talk some more about getting old. All right, let's go over some things that have sold. Sold Mario Kart for Wii. This was still part of that pickup of all those games and all that stuff for $350. It's another $25 plus shipping on Mario Kart for Wii. And there's something out there, let me tell you, as a whole, these are out there by the bunches. I find these multiple times a year. Always look this stuff up. Always be on the lookout for that. And it always sells very quick. Sold Evil West for PlayStation 5. Picked this up at a yard sale. Guy had amazing amount of games. PlayStation 5 games, he had 6 on. PlayStation 4, he had $5 on. PlayStation 3, he had $4 on. Anyway, $49 plus shipping on the Evil West, and he let me scan. They let it. Everybody, there was other guys there, resellers. They were scanning games, so I grabbed a stack and started scanning myself. This is a very rare Scooby-Doo Blu-ray. When you look for Blu-rays sometimes that are weird, that's what you're looking for, something weird. Picked this up for $1 at a yard sale. Also, $50 plus shipping on Scooby-Doo. Sold, if you watched a recent video, picked up some games. This is Zelda for Game Boy Advance, $22 plus shipping. If you also watched that same video, you see me pick up Roseanne. I told you Roseanne was selling really well right now. Paid $10 for it. Got $76 plus shipping in less than 24 hours. Also along those lines, this was a week before, but also sold very quickly because I didn't get to list it for a few days. This is How I Met Your Mom, the complete series, sealed. Paid $15 for this. Had to pay up for a little bit of this, not as much profit as Roseanne. I knew it would sell quick. New sealed, the complete series. I said I paid $45 plus shipping very quickly. Sold Tennessee Volunteers Nike golf short, $11 plus shipping. This is a $1 pickup at a yard sale. Sold Joseph A. Bank, size 1836, purple dress business type shirt. Paid $1 for it. I sent an offer for like $9 plus shipping. Sold this Polo Ralph Lauren 2XLT, kind of a beach type color, sandy type color. $15 plus shipping on the Polo Ralph Lauren. This was a $1 pickup at a yard sale. And finally, to the same customer, we sold 2 different shirts. They look alike. They're both Virginia Tech. They're both new with tags. I got $15 a piece plus shipping. I paid $3 a piece for these at a yard sale. One thing that I struggle with myself is trying to keep up with technology. And I think that's one thing as you get older, technology can frustrate you. And it does. I hear so much. And if there's anything that probably is a weakness, I'm always kind of the last one to the bandwagon type deal. I hear of now that there's listings with AI where, like, say if you got a piece of clothing, you can put this on a person, and to try to sell it. And I think that's through Photo Room. I think they offer that. I think that there's even ways that I'm not 100% sure. AI can be for listing right there in the store, that you can just take some pictures real quick and have a listing before you even check out. Now, I've done listings before I even checked out before. A couple times, like I used to be in Goodwill when I used to go to Goodwill more. I would go ahead and take a couple pictures and list an item like ink and go ahead and sell it. I mean, I'd sold it a couple hours after I'd bought it because I was already listed it before I even checked out at the Goodwill. So I've done that myself, but I've not used I didn't use AI or anything like that to do it. It was just manual, old school listing, which I think definitely with these power listers and these people that list 200 or 300 items a day or more, they're going to go to that system, and that's just going to be another advantage they have. At this point, I'm not really looking into that, and I'll probably miss some of the beginning of the boat there. But like I said, age just plays a factor in it so much. Like I say, it will help you with, like I say, wisdom and stuff sometimes, knowing how to buy, but it can slow you down a lot of ways too. A lot of the ailing problems, the feelings, the back don't do what it used to and all that type of stuff. People have even asked me before, do you pull much with furniture? Absolutely not. I don't pull much with furniture. Anything that weighs more than about 10 to 10 pounds, I really don't pull with. I may do something on Marketplace. Like during COVID, I bought some weights multiple times, say at yard sales, and instantly I take pictures in the back of my vehicle as I'm loading them up in the back of my vehicle, or somebody's helping me load them up in the back of my vehicle. I go ahead and take pictures and go ahead and put it on Facebook Marketplace. But that's the only time I deal with heavier items is on Facebook Marketplace. An advantage, if somebody wants to pull with heavier items, you can have it on your own market sometimes on certain things because you're willing to pull with heavier items. But just remember the shipping costs that's involved, and also, just dealing with it and the fact that it can get dropped and returned and stuff like that. I mean, I know people that dealt with fax machines and printers, and used to be sewing machines there were good for a while, but the weight, the shipping is. I haven't heard anybody shipping a sewing machine or a typewriter in quite a while. Not that the high end ones wouldn't be great, but it's a weight lift and stuff like that. So what I want to say is there's good advantages to getting older. There's some definitely bad advantages to get older. I do see, though, if there comes a time where regular jobs aren't hiring older people, that some people will float into our thing. They'll kind of do the antique booth thing, but they'll do it from their house, and they'll sell stuff like that. Don't know if it'll affect your niche, but it could affect all of us. If you like this type of content, if you like me talking about old people, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate you. Have a great week.